Okay, fingers crossed this works. I just wanted to apologize in advance. I had some things come up in my personal life right before recording this that are a little bit difficult for me to deal with. But I had planned in advance to produce this video today due to other time constraints involving my internship. That being said, I've also tried to record this 3 times and had some issues with the Screencaster. It cut me off a couple times and would like lose connection. Not really sure what's up with that, but I think I've got everything fixed now. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin. This is the landing page of my website that I developed for this class. I didn't see anything in terms of how we were supposed to fill the landing page, and just for cosmetic purposes, honestly, I decided to use a little bit of AI, a little bit of handwriting, as I have developed a little bit of an appreciation for the summarization skills at ChatGPT. Just summarizing the website and what it would be aimed at in a educational context, as well as crediting the class, yourself, the professor, and LSU, and then a little disclaimer that this wasn't, to my knowledge, an assigned task, but I wanted to go ahead and add it just for graphically pleasing purposes. First, I have the Meet the Teacher page. Nice little picture of me. I really enjoyed the professional circles, personal circles area here. It was interesting to me to kind of parse through that. I almost felt like I could have put in a Venn diagram because much of my personal and professional lives overlap. Even my student organization, Queer Graduate Student Alliance, that I'm the president of, is really like network based in terms of LSU graduate connections. And I do often find it to be a more professional circle despite it being a social organization and an advocacy organization. The text really just details my interest in becoming a counselor, why I'm at LSU, and just a brief overview of my experience thus far whenever I was writing this. I could probably update it at this point, as I have developed a lot more as a counselor this semester in terms of my internship. Starting with the ISTE standards for education. I'm trying to recall which video this is because I remember I quite liked it, but I don't remember who made it. I had it just pulled up before I started recording this, so I'll go check that after this to make sure that it's still there. But it may be a casting issue. I do apologize. I really enjoyed making this graphic. I really did. Graphics are something that I get a lot of joy out of. I wish there was more ability to graphically customize Google sites in the way that you do Wix or more programmable sites. And this is just because I feel like, what's the best way of putting it? When instruction is online, I think one of its biggest underutilized strengths is pulling in students through graphic means in terms of visual. Making it graphically engaging is easier online. And I feel it's underutilized, very much so. As you can see by the low engagement on these pages, I did struggle to find some ISTE information on Instagram, and that is my primary and one of my only social medias. So that is what I ended up using. And yeah, maybe there should be more content creation about this topic online. Technology models, that was the SAMR and the TPAC. I don't know if those are actually how they're pronounced or if we say them out loud, but that's how I say it to me in my head. Just a little overview of like the integration of education and technology together, how they can work together in an efficient and also ethical way. I quite enjoyed using Gamma. I think that's what, yes, Gamma. I did not know that Gamma existed, and I didn't realize just how detailed it was capable of being. I was quite impressed by that. It definitely wasn't perfect, and there were some things to adjust whenever it was developed initially by the AI, but it was impressive. I thought it was quite cool. Future ready skills. Let's see what we do here. This is when I looked at that TED Talk. The TED Talk that I watched, I remember quite enjoying just the energy that Jim McKenzie had. But yeah, I just enjoyed the message of like the ever adaptability of humanity and how it lends itself to success. It was just very interesting to me. Not much else to say on that page though. Going into resources, podcasting, podcast reflections. I'll be honest in saying that I don't remember a lot about reading these podcasts. I mean, listening to these podcasts. I did also read them. Well, I listened to them and then I read them because I do have some hearing loss and was struggling a little bit with this assignment, which is probably why I don't remember as much. But I really like podcasting as a format. It's just that sometimes podcasts audio balancing just doesn't lend itself well to the speakers that I own. And it becomes difficult with my hearing loss and my tinnitus. I do appreciate them having transcripts available online, or I may have used an interpretive app. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember at this point. But yeah, I enjoyed this section. I wish there was an alternative that was reading based, but I do understand why. And I do think podcasting is a great resource for young adults that are learning. I think it connects well with that demographic. Mobile apps. I talked about Adobe Express. I recently started using this, and I quite enjoyed it whenever I was using it for educational purposes and also for work in more recent months. I feel it's super customizable. It's similar to Canva, but has a broader application, in my opinion, and also connects to the Adobe suites, which we have access to as students, which is great. I love that. And it's an important software suite to be familiar with in this professional day and age, I believe. This video was great. She's really great at breaking down the app, and I honestly feel like it would be great for any age group to review, to get familiar with the app. I'm getting hoarse. I might be losing my voice. I do apologize about that. Gamification is one of my favorite ways of keeping students engaged in my own experiences, but also when running like organization meetings. I really love Kahoot. It carries a lot of nostalgia for me as someone who is in their 20s. But I'm honestly, it only brings up more questions on like what more I could look into in terms of gamification, and I'm excited to see what that has to offer. If you have any recommendations, I'd love to hear about them. I'm going to be researching some soon for a lesson I have to do. Okay, digital storytelling. This was all of the video planning. I'll be honest in saying this video was difficult for me. Canva was giving me a hard time with audio cutting and adjustments, which is probably evident in the video, and the audio just didn't seem balanced. A lot of that also comes with my own auditory problems and not being able to tell. I struggled to find a medium between engaging and informative. I'm much more used to speaking on the topic in a strictly informative manner, and yeah, it was a difficult assignment, but I appreciate the challenge very much. I really like all the examples, like the other things that people submitted in prior years. A lot of good examples of how impactful storytelling can be when used in a classroom setting. Yeah. Digital images. I think this is just a collection of images and items I could use as resources for dissociative identity disorder. Yes. I enjoyed finding these icons, as I was not anticipating there to be so many that I could associate with the disorders, I suppose. Yes. And then the Wakelet. I really like Wakelet. I actually am going to begin using this more often. I love this like blog format that's scrollable, and the way that it formats and integrates different forms of media like links and pictures. It just looks very great, and is easy to input into other websites. So thank you for showing me that. I very much like it. Digital assessments. I believe I emailed you about this. I cannot find what this section was supposed to be. In the syllabus it said it would be in Module 12, and then I looked in Module 12 and couldn't find anything pertaining to inserting data or information into this website. So I do apologize if I missed that. Please let me know if there's anything that I should do to further my education past this class, as obviously if I have missed this to the point that we are now noticing it, I do not deserve any sort of grade for it, but yes, I do apologize for this. I'm not sure what happened here. FERPA and COPPA, just an overview, we just recently did this. I've been very familiar with FERPA as someone who has worked in the university setting for a couple of years. So this was a very familiar area for me. Wasn't really sure what to put for the image, so I just put a family working together, just kind of looking collaborative or whatnot. COPPA is one I've more recently been introduced to, and I'm very glad something like this exists. I was certain that something did, but I had never seen like the fully written out descriptions or fully explained descriptions of what this looks like, and I'm glad that this exists. Evaluations, my professional learning. I believe this is my certificate for my Apple Teacher recognition. Yes, right here. This was nice. I enjoyed how informative and like how the Apple certification program would like redirect you to different areas to review. It was very helpful. Had a good learning experience with this website and this certification in general. And then Screencast. This is where hopefully this video will be. I think that's it. Thank you, Dr. Harriman. I hope that you have a pleasant holiday season. And yeah, I think that's it for me.